Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Going to Attic Space. My name is Jason Boning. I'm the owner of Uni-Serve Air Conditioning in Houston, Texas, where we maintain, repair, and replace air conditioning systems all around this great city. Well, today we want to talk about brands of AC equipment and specifically talk about why we sell American Standard and Amana when it comes to residential AC equipment. Now, there's a lot of brands out there. And I feel like there's always something popping up. But so we'll talk a little bit about that. But yeah, it's if you start Googling HVAC equipment, which brand should I buy? There's going to be a lot of stuff out there. And so I wanted to share with y'all why we choose American Standard and Amana and why we think those are great products to put in your home. So first off, as a company, one of the things that we have to figure out is, do we want to provide equipment for you as the homeowner that's going to last 10 to 15 years? Okay, so let's back up. So 10 to 15 years, that's the average lifespan of HVAC equipment today. And that's basically all around the U.S. Houston obviously has a lot greater demand for cooling than a lot of other places. And so that we can tend to be on the lower side of that. But 10 to 15 years, that's kind of what you can expect. And we want to maintain it well for you to try to help it last as long as we can possibly get. But really the question we have to ask is, do we want to put a system in your home that can last 10 to 15 years with minimal issues? Or do we want to put the cheapest possible option that we can sell in your home, and we're going to be back every year to 2 or 3 years fixing some major component or major issue? All right, and so that's a question we have to weigh. Do we want something that's going to be a little bit more cost a little bit more, but last that full duration? Or do we want to put the cheapest option and then be out there of, every year or 2 or 3 fixing something? And so we have made the determination that we want to provide the best value that we can and the best quality of equipment for the price that we can. All right. So when you buy a new system from us, we want it to last 10 to 15 years with very minimal issues. Now, granted, with any system, there's going to be, a capacitor or a relay or something minor. Right? It is what it is today. Okay, but we don't want compressors going out. We don't want coils leaking. We don't want any of those major issues. So that's the determination that we have made, that we want something that's going to last. All right, so that's step one. So that's going to rule out a lot of different manufacturers. And so we believe that there are equipment manufacturers out there that provide equipment at a really cheap price point, but it's going to be breaking down a lot, and they can sell replacement parts at a higher frequency. And so that's really not the direction we want to go. And so my background is an engineer. In addition to being an air conditioning contractor, I'm a licensed professional engineer. And so I'm going to kind of nerd out and look at how are these products designed. And so if it's really going to last, then what are the engineers doing behind the scenes to really make this stuff last? And so that's where we came to the determination that we want to sell American Standard and Amana products because they are going to be quality products and last that full duration in that 10 to 15 years. Now, I will say there can be issues, just like with anything there, we may, 1 in 100 systems may have a major catastrophic issue come up. And if something like that does happen, we want a company that's going to provide parts very quickly. They're going to have the right warranties and all that good stuff. So, okay, that's a little background on kind of how we arrived at that decision. Now let me kind of give you a little more specifics about each one. All right, so first one, American Standard. All right, let me switch hats here. So why American Standard? Well, first off, hey, if Nolan Ryan says that American Standard is what you should get, then hey, that's what we should get, right? So I'm a huge Nolan Ryan fan, And if you don't know, here in the Houston area, there's always a Nolan Ryan commercial on TV or on the radio about choosing American Standard Air. And so, but yeah, we love Nolan Ryan. We love American Standard. That's not the only reason. So American Standard, that brand is owned by Trane Technologies. If you're in Texas and really familiar with AC, I'm sure you've heard the Trane name. So Trane is a great company. They make great AC equipment, and American Standard is one of their brands. I have seen their factories, and when they're coming off the line, and one side they're slapping Trane stickers, the other side they're slapping American Standard stickers. It's pretty much identical equipment, all right? Now, Trane comes at a little bit higher price point, but like I said, for the most part, they are the same equipment. And we think that they have a great product. They have a great warranty. They have a warehouse, or I guess a manufacturing facility, I should say, in Tyler, Texas. So not too far from us here in Houston. And so that's really close by, so we can get a lot of equipment fast. We have suppliers here in Houston that always have equipment and parts. And for that reason, we've just had really good success with American Standard. And so their quality and durability is really good. They make great, efficient equipment. And so if you look at the AHRI numbers, that's essentially an organization that does all the testing for the SEER 2 ratings and EER 2 ratings. All that has to go through AHRI. And American Standard consistently has some of the best ratings in terms of their matchups, from, not to get too deep in the weeds, but how furnaces and coils and condensers match up and all those ratings. They consistently have some of the best matchups on the market. They also have, in terms of just warranty claims, all those numbers are usually very low because, like I said, they make really good equipment and it's made to last. American Standard, they don't want to have to be replacing parts all the time. They want that equipment to last that 10 to 15 years. And so with all of those things considered, we feel like we have to offer American Standard. It's a great product. And like I said, same as Trane, and we know Trane makes great equipment, but American Standard just has a little bit better price point. So I bought Uni-Serve air conditioning in 2022. They had been selling American Standard equipment for, I think, about a decade before then, and just continued to have really great success with it. And so we wanted to just continue offering American Standard, and it's been really good for us. Okay, switching gears, the next brand that we offer is Amana. So why Amana? Now, I guess sticking with baseball, I don't know, I guess there's a lot of baseball and AC connections, but Amana is owned by Daikin. And Daikin just took over the naming rights to the Astros Stadium. So it's no longer Minute Maid Park, it's now Daikin Park. And yeah, with Houston being the AC capital of the world, I think it's very fitting that Daikin, the world's largest AC equipment manufacturer, would take on the naming rights to the AC capital of the world, in my opinion. And so I think it's a good fit there. But so Daikin is based in Japan, and in 2012 they actually bought out Goodman. Okay, I don't know if you're familiar with Goodman, but Goodman was a big AC company. Did a lot of new construction, a lot of multifamily apartments and condos and all that. You'll probably see a lot of Goodman units, as well as just for some of your homes may have Goodman. So it's what we call a value brand. And Daikin, as they wanted to grow here in the U.S., they bought out Goodman and then created Daikin North America. And so right up the road in Waller, Texas, and so just about, depending on where you're at in Houston, maybe 30 minutes to an hour drive out in Waller, you'll see a huge facility out there, and that is the Daikin, Texas Technology Park. I think I said that right, DTTP, Daikin, Texas Technology Park. I may have mixed up the T's, but anyways, so that's the Daikin North American headquarters. And so they're independent from Daikin in Japan, and it's now Daikin North America, and they really want to grow here in the U.S. And and they're going to start right here in their backyard, if you will, right here in Houston. And so they're making big plays to increase their market share here, if you will. And so yeah, that's Daikin. So Daikin they make great equipment, great commercial equipment, and they're expanding on the residential side. And part of that is with the Amana and Goodman brands. So they still have Goodman, which, like I said, is kind of a value brand, and that's something that we do offer. We do have customers that they're like, hey, I just want the cheapest option you got. So we do have that. We can offer Goodman. But in terms of value, we think Amana provides a lot of great value as well. So very similar to Trane and American Standard is very similar to how Daikin and Amana work. So it's not the exact same. There are a few tweaks between Daikin and Amana, but it's still really great equipment in terms of the compressors, the coils, just the efficiency of the products that they offer. One of the other really cool things about Amana is for some of their higher efficiency equipment, they offer a lifetime warranty on the compressor. And there are a couple kind of side notes, if you will. So it only applies to the original purchaser of that equipment. And so in other words, if let's say you buy an Amana system tomorrow and then you sell the house a few years later, that lifetime compressor warranty will not transfer to the new homeowner. There will be a 10-year parts warranty that will transfer, but that lifetime warranty will not. But still, a lifetime warranty on the compressor, that's huge. And so we think there's a lot of value in that. And not only that, if that compressor does go bad, not only are they going to replace the compressor, they'll just give you an entire new outside condensing unit. And so we think that's great. And so if you lose a compressor, we're not going to have to come out there and changing a compressor is one of the most difficult jobs that we have as an AC company. And so instead of changing out that compressor, we're going to change out that entire condensing unit. That makes it really nice. And so anytime somebody's going to stand behind their product like that, it's definitely going to get our attention. Also, with them being right down the road, I've been out there multiple times, and I've been able to tour the factory and go through all that. I've also got to tour the engineering labs, and I was extremely impressed. And so, not only are they just testing the equipment and making sure it runs, but they're testing all kinds of crazy conditions. And so, just to give you an example, like there was one part of it where they're literally like throwing dirt in the compressor and then connecting it all up and running and just seeing how long it'll last. And so they know that there can be crazy things happening on the job site, which, as a side note, at Uni-Serve, we're not going to allow that to happen. We're going to do it the right way, by the book. But if somebody does do that, they want to see how it's going to operate in those conditions. They operated at like 150 degrees or maybe even up to 200 and like negatives so many degrees. Like I can't remember all the tests that they put it through. But and that goes for American Standard and Amana, really Trane and Daikin brands. They have phenomenal engineering teams that really do a great job of designing these products and then testing them, making sure that they're going to last in the harsh Texas summers here. So I know I've covered a lot here, but like I said, we really think that American Standard and Amana make great products. And so us here at Uni-Serve, we're happy to stand behind either of those. And we want to offer you the best value that's on the market. So not necessarily everything that's got all the bells and whistles, but what actually provides the most value. And so as a company, we want to provide the most value to you, and we want to provide equipment that brings great value as well. So if you're in the market for a new AC system, your system just isn't operating like it used to, it's breaking down all the time, not cooling properly, whatever it may be, give us a call. We'd be happy to come out there and take a look, and if it is time to change it, we can definitely give you multiple options for both American Standard and Amana equipment. Thanks so much for listening, and hope to talk to you soon.